guys, it's Buffy from Buffy's Beautiful Babies. As promised last night, I was going to come on and do a video changing Arlo. So here I am. I did promise it. Even though I'm in a bit of pain tonight, my knees are throbbing today. I think it's through all the gardening the other day. This knee that's bent at the moment, oh, it's absolutely throbbing. I've took my meds and everything, but it doesn't usually take it off. So how have you all been this past day? I've had a good day. We went shopping. I had to go and do my fortnightly food shop. So I got some bits in. And I got some mince and spaghetti sauce and everything for tomorrow, as I'm going to make homemade spag bol. So that will be nice. And tonight we've had salad and baguette, tuna baguettes. And I'm absolutely bloated, so's Dave, poor bugger. He has diverticulosis and his stomach's really bloated at the moment, so he's got a bit of pain. So I've just made him take his Buscapan. So let's hope that it doesn't go into even worse. Like he usually gets a bad spout every so many weeks. So let's hope that this isn't the sign of a flare-up. So, as promised, I'm going to do Little Man in the outfit that I showed you last night when I was changing Javon. So what am I going to talk about tonight? I thought tonight I'll give you a little bit of info of me and my life, if it's not too boring. And just let you know a little about me. I'm just going to put some background noise on, so I do like a bit of telly on while I'm not so much volume and things like that, but just sort of like background. Yeah, so I thought I'll give you a little bit of info on my life. So I am 55 years old. I was born in 1970 in a town called Redcar in Teesside. And I've lived here ever since, but I did have a move at one point. Grew up in a loving family, a brother, a sister, and my mum and dad. And yeah, I had a really good childhood, very good childhood. I always wanted to be a police officer when I left school. That came for a reason, but I don't want to go into the reason why I wanted to be a police officer. It's too personal for family information, and I don't really want to bring it all up again. So yeah, so there was a reason that I wanted to join the police force. This is Arlo's little astronaut, by the way. He loves space. So I'm just going to put it aside while I get him sorted. Yeah, so I always wanted to be in the police, and I joined. I was off before the police thing came on. I was in a juvenile jazz band, which is a marching band, and I was in that from age 12 or 13 till I was 18. Loved it, went everywhere with them, went to Liverpool, to Wales, all over the place. And I loved being in that, and I was on kazoo section. I've been tenor drummer, I've been on the mace, I've been solo kazoo, I was harmonizer at kazoo. I was on the banner when I very first joined, the big banner that they carry at the front. So yes, I've been all sorts, but I love the band, absolutely loved it. I've still got my medals on my sash, still got it all. I'll have to show you one day. But yeah, at 16, I actually joined the volunteer police cadets at De Bruce School at Skelton, and I went to there every Tuesday evening. And we went everywhere with them as well. It was run by police officers from Gisborough Police Station. We used to go all over with them, go away for weekends and stuff, and have fun, and do police stuff and things like that. I left there when I was, because I was doing that and the band. But I left the police. I think I was 18 when I left them. No, I joined when I was 15, and I left when I was 17, because you had to leave at that age anyway. Because obviously you were old enough to join the regulars, 17 to 18, so you were old enough to join the regulars. So I left there. Didn't go into it full time because I'd met I'd met my partner at the time, and I was with him, and I got engaged to him. And about 6 months after we got engaged, I fell pregnant. And I was 18 at the time. So we did get married in the November. I got married on November the 5th. And yeah, that was one big mistake I made. As for years, it started when I was quite heavily pregnant. He was showing signs of abuse, and I was silly. I was a young girl, and I put up with it. Then I had our son in 1989. Yeah, he didn't really have much to do with my son when he was a baby. It was all me. And luckily I had my family there. I went everywhere with my mum and my sister. We were all like really close family. So I was never on my own with my son. Or during the day I was always with my family. And then at night obviously I was at home with him. And then the abuse just started to get worse and worse. But you put up with it, don't you? People say, why? I can't answer that. I can't answer it. I think it was because of my son. I didn't want to make my child homeless, because obviously I didn't know where I stood. I was only young. I was 19 then. I didn't know what to do. I didn't tell anybody he was being abusive. When they saw black eyes on me, it was, I just said that the bairn had done it. He'd flung back and caught me and things like that. You make excuses up. Anyway, I put up with that until my son was 7. And I always said that if he ever hurt me in front of him, it was over. And one New Year, he did go to town. And I was being battered, basically, in the dining room. And I turned around and my son was stood there, crying, but no sound was coming out of him at all. He was in a mess. So I said, that's it, we're done. But he wouldn't move out, so I had to cope with him in the home until one day I could get him out. I tried, I went to the police, nothing they could do because he hadn't touched me then. So really there was nothing I could do. I had to put up with him. But he would never lay a hand on me again after that. And I lived with him for, I think it was about 6 months. And this one night I asked him to babysit as I was going to line dance, and I used to love to line dance. And I was going there, and then all of a sudden he shouted me out of the window in the bedroom, so in the street. So I said, what? He says, you can take your son because I'm not looking after him. But it was the lines of like F and F and F, and you know what I mean? A load of swear words coming out of his mouth. So I'm going to put these little socks on him with a little green dinosaur on. So me and my friend, we went back to the house to get my son, so I'll take him with me. And basically, all I said was, you could have told me this before I'd got ready. And he come flying down the stairs, and I knew what was going to happen. So I just sort of like run into the front room by the window, and he grabbed me and put my head to the glass. And he said, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to put your head through there. But like I said, there was a few more F words in there. And my friend was stood, he actually shoved her out the way. Jamie was just stood there crying again. He shoved my friend into the wall, the chimney breast wall. And I just said, go on then, effing do it. And then all of a sudden, I just pushed it. I don't know where the strength come from. I mean, he wasn't a big fella, but he was military, so and I knew he had weapons in the house. So, oops, sorry, Arlo. So I had to be careful with things I did and said. So, oh, these look cute. So I just pushed him. I don't know where the strength come from, and I ran out of the house. I knew my son was safe. I knew he wouldn't hurt him. My friend stayed there. And I ran out the house, and I just ran over the road to the phone box. I had a phone in the house, but I knew that if I picked that phone up in the house, it would end up round my head. So I went to the phone box, and I didn't phone the police for my mum. And I just said, Mum, ring the police. He's at it again. So next minute, there was a knock on the door. He'd legged it by the time I'd got back in the house. So obviously I'd locked the doors and everything. There was a knock at the door, and it was police. And they swarmed the house. They taped the area off and everything. And checked if I was okay, checked if my friend was okay, and my 7-year-old son. Then he'd called me while the police were there and said, I won't be coming back. I said, oh, no, you're not coming back, mate. And the police wanted to know where he was, and he didn't tell them. He put the phone down. So after a few minutes, they kept calling me upstairs into the room where he slept, after we'd sort of like separated. And they said, you know what all this is? And I said, no. And there was like wires and things like that. And they were like, well, it's detonator fuse. And I was like, what? And by the end of the couple of hours, there was a line right across the room of different objects in plastic bags, all to do with making weapons and bombs and things like that. And they asked me where the weapons were, so I showed them, and there was about 5 knives, going from little tiny things to the big serrated survival knives. There was a crossbow. There was magazine rounds, but obviously they weren't loaded. There was 2 air rifles, 3 air pistols, and things like that. And they were like, well, why has he got these? I said, well, he's in the TA, the Territorial Army. He's a corporal in there. And they were quite concerned. He showed signs of terrorism and things like that. So I was like, oh, for God's sake. And they asked me if I'd ever seen anything that looked like white plasticine in the room. So I said, yeah. I said, it used to have a big ball of it on the side there. And apparently that was plastic explosive. I didn't know. I thought it was white blue tack. So we didn't find that. That was gone. So because of what they found in the house, I had to have the bomb squad to the house. So they had to phone Catterick Garrison bomb squad to come, and I had to leave my premises for 24 hours. So did my neighbours, both sides. So I don't think they were too happy, just in case he planted anything. So they had to search my house for 24 hours. I had a dog at the time in there, our Mickey, but they said he would be fine. They would make sure he was okay. They would lock my door when they left and stuff like that. So anyway, we went to the police station, sorted everything, you know, like got statements and all that. Doesn't he look so cute? got statements and everything, and they asked me why I would never reported him for the abuse and things. And I said I just didn't want to. So they said that was a very silly thing of me. I said, well, yes, I know, but you do these silly things. There's your little teddy back. So doesn't he look sweet, guys? And they said, you do these silly things, don't you? So oops, we've lost him. So after that, you know, we ended up being separated, obviously, and we divorced. I got a 6 months divorce because of the reason. Oh, your hair, Mr. Allo. Where's your teddy gone? There he is. And yeah, there we go, little man. There we go. You look at all your aunties and uncles. Yeah, doesn't he look gorgeous in that, guys? Absolutely beautiful. And his daddy got this from Timu. It's absolutely gorgeous. He's so sweet, Baba. So yeah. So he got arrested anyway that night by gunpoint. They arrested him in the middle of a road. So that was new music to my ears that he'd been arrested, but he got away with it. Anyway, that was that relationship, marriage over and done with. And then I met somebody else after a while, and I left Redcar to go and live in Rotherham in South Yorkshire with my new fella. So I was with him for a few years. We got engaged, and I fell pregnant at the age of 29, and we had a boy. So that made I had 2 boys. And yeah, everything was great. Until one morning, early one morning, I was woken up with my phone ringing, constantly. So anyway, I finally answered it, got up and answered it, and it was my mum. And she was very upset, asking if I was sat down. I was like, why? What's the matter? What's gone on? And she just said, Mandy's dead. I said, what? Mandy was my sister. She was 38 at the time. She is 8 years older than me, and me and her were like glue. Really, really good sisterly bond. We went everywhere together before I left Redcar. She didn't like it that I left. She felt like a part of her had been ripped away. But I had a life to live, you know what I mean? So yeah, you know, I couldn't just stay somewhere for them. I had to get on with my life and be happy. And I did want to get away because of my ex-husband. I just didn't want to be in the same area as him. So that was one reason I did move. So anyway, I got a train. No, I didn't at all. Sorry, tell a lie. My my fiance's brother, drove me back to Redcar from Rotherham, which is about an hour and a half journey. And I went straight around to my sister's house, and my dad was there. My mum was on her way back from her sister's in Cumbria, and that's where she was at the time. So anyway, I ran straight upstairs to see the kids, see how they were. She'd left 3 kids. There was 2 boys. There was the elder boy who was 15. There was the younger boy who was 13, and the little girl who was 8. So obviously I went straight up to see how they were. And then I had to try and find out what the hell had gone on. And then basically all it was is on Boxing Day, she felt a little bit unwell, and then it got okay. And then on the 28th of December, she woke up and she was like really poorly. And then by just gone midnight, so it would have been the 29th of December, she died. So the ambulance was called and they tried to resuscitate her. I think it was 8 times on the way to the hospital. Anyway, she was pronounced dead at 1:30 in the morning on the 29th of December. And And apparently when we got the death certificate, she had ulcerated colitis that was undetected. So all the time they were saying she had irritable bowel, it wasn't, it was ulcerated colitis. Now, if they'd have done the work properly, the doctors had done the jobs properly, it could have been found and she could still be with us today. But her doctor just kept saying it was irritable bowel and just keep giving her antibiotics. Didn't send her for no testing or nothing. So because of that, she died. My dad and my mum were without a daughter. I was without my sister. And her kids were without a mother. So yeah. And that was like a brick. You know what I mean? It just hit me like a brick. And then I just couldn't settle again when I got back home to Rotherham. And then things started going downhill between me and my partner at the time. My youngest son, our child that I had with him, he was about 3, and I decided that enough was enough, and we separated. And I lived there, continued to live in Rotherham for about 4 or 5 months. And my mum and dad were trying to get me to get back the council house, and anyway I did. The council got me home because of the circumstances. I wanted to be with my family because of my sister passing. I wanted to be with her children because they had no womanly figure, just they lived with the stepdad. So I needed to get back, and I did. They got me a house, and I got back to Redcar, and I've been back here ever since. That was 2004. That was when I moved back. No, it wasn't. I tell a lie. It was 2002 when I moved back. And yeah, so anyway, after, I think my youngest son was about 6 at the time when I decided to try for the police again. And I tried to join the voluntary police. And unfortunately, I failed my exam 3 times, so I give up. And that was that. So I just brought the boys up, and it was just like I had to be there for the boys, and especially the younger one, Josh, because he was diagnosed at 7-year-old with ADHD, dyspraxia, autistic. He was on the autistic spectrum, and he developed Tourette's at the age of 12. Luckily, he doesn't have it bad. He just tics really when he's at the home. Motor tics, he does do. You can see them if you know what you're looking for. But he's 26 nearly now, and he's doing really well. He works security guard with his brother. He's driving. He's learning to drive. He's got his test in October. He bought himself a car already. He's got a Scirocco. And he's had a girlfriend for about 5 years now. So he's doing well, bless him. And my eldest son, he's got 2 bairns, only sees one. Because the witch of a mother took my grandson away from us when he was 3.5. Just decided to cause trouble and not let us see him. And that was that. But hopefully I'll get to see him again one day. And then 2012, my granddaughter was due to be born. No, she wasn't at all. That was Jensen, when my grandson. Sorry, I'm skipping back again now. Just before my grandson was born, within 6 weeks, my dad died. My dad got what is it called again? Multiple myeloma. So I spent every day in the hospital with my dad for 6 months. And everyone went home for a break, and I decided to come back early. And I'm glad I did, because while I was sat with him, he was breathing funny, so I was talking to him, and he passed away in front of me. And I gave him a big kiss and told him to go to Mandy, my sister. And I phoned my mum and said, you better get here quick. And my son, I said, you better get here. And my brother, let them all know that he wasn't going to last much longer. But before anybody got there, my dad passed away. And the nurse said he passed in front of the person he wanted to. He knows you were strong enough to cope with it. So that was nice that Dad chose to leave this earth plane with me by his side. Then just obviously normal family things, and I just basically concentrated on bringing the boys up. And then I looked after my mum because my mum developed COPD. So every day I was looking after my mum, and it was hard. It was hard on me, and it really did wreck me. I mean, that's probably why my knees are shot and things like that as well. I know it was hard. It was hard to do everything. And it got me down because nobody else would help apart from me. And then this went on for years, probably about 5 years. And then one day I was around there, and she just got herself a second reborn. Actually, she'd got 2 reborn dolls, and she'd just bought a second one. And she'd bought this little white crib for them to be in. So I was putting it up on this day. I was fixing the crib up for her. And when her oxygen levels were low, she'd go in and out of conscious, like she'd fall asleep all the time. And I was like, Mother, you're going to sleep again. Anyway, after a bit, I did her oxygen levels, and it was very low. So I said, right, that's it, phone an ambulance. And she said, no, you're not. I said, oh, yeah, I am. And she went, I'm not going back in. I went, well, you are. So I phoned them up, and they were coming on the 19-minute response. And I just turned around to her and I said, right, come on, you're going back into hospital. And she sat up, flumped at the back of the bed, and died. I was like, what the hell? So obviously I had to give her CPR on the phone with the doctors, the 999, and obviously I was given a CPR. But unfortunately, she went. When the guy come in from the paramedics, he said basically, you're keeping her alive. So I said, if she got no chance? He went, not with the way she is. She's literally end of life. So I was like, right, we'll just let her go peacefully then. So we did. We let her go. And yeah, so basically, I was there when both my parents passed away on my own. So I must have thought I could handle it, eh? Yeah. And that was in 2019. She actually died on Poppy Day, 11/11. 11/11/19. So the tattoo I have for her, I don't know if you've seen, the tattoo on my arm is a poppy, and it says Mum, 11/11/19. And my dad I got him sorry, no, it's not that one. It's that one, and it's a cross with loving memory, Dad. So yeah. So yeah, I've had quite a life where it's like up and down, very much up and down. But yeah, and then during, I miss quite a few years. And then during lockdown in 2021, I was someone told me to like join TikTok because everyone was on it during lockdown and stuff. So I did, and I got talking with this bloke on there. We got involved, kind of. Never met him, but we got involved. And he literally got into my head. and making me feel horrible at some point. And oh, it was terrible. The relationship, it wasn't nice. And this went on for about a year. And it wasn't nice. And I'd lost a lot of weight. People were saying I didn't look well, and all this lot. And then this guy who I was also talking to was a friend, because he was going through a similar sort of thing. And then we found out that the woman that he was going through the narcissistic relationship with, on TikTok, and the one I was going through a narcissistic relationship with were friends. So we were like, hang on a minute. So me and him kind of got talking. And then one day he asked me if he could meet me. So I said, yeah. So he drove all the way down from Wales to come and meet me. And we met another time after that. And that was it. We clicked. We just clicked. And here we are now, 2025. And we're still together. And we're getting married in, what is it, 7 weeks? 7 weeks, I think it is now. 26th of July, we get married. And yeah, and we're still together. So, so at least I've got something good. I've got my granddaughter, and my grandson. Hopefully one day I'll get to see him again. He'd be 13 this year, coming up. And the last time I saw him was just after my mum passed away. He was on the bus and he recognised me. And he said, hey, Nana. And that was the last time I saw him. So I'm hoping one day soon I get to see him again. So yeah, that's basically my life. Parts of it anyway. So I hope I haven't bored you with it all. I just thought I'd slip in and tell you a little bit about me. And then I say I did get into reborns when my mum was alive. I think it was down to like loneliness and things like that. And I had about 2, I think, before my mum passed away. And then all of a sudden I started getting more and more and more. And I did put them away for a while. And when I met Dave, I didn't have them out. I had them all put away. And then I was doing something one day. And, oh no, I did. I had one out. I had Maya out. The very first little reborn I bought. And I said to Dave, I've got loads of them in the loft. He said, why have you put them away? So I said, well, you know, I didn't know whether you'd be all right with them. So he said, well, you can get them out if you want. So I did. And then I've just built them up ever since. I've bought about 12, I think, since we've been with Dave. So yeah. So I've got quite a lot now. I think I'm on 28 at the moment and I've got 2 more due. Or am I on 29 at the moment and 2 more due? But I don't know, since my knees and everything and not being able to get out and things, I did develop depression and anxiety. And holding these babbies sort of like calm me down. And I just feel at ease when I'm holding them. It's just like my comforter. I just need to give him a hug when I need one. And Dave's there, obviously. I get my big bear hugs off Dave. But yeah, when Dave's not there, I hold my babies and give them big hugs. Right, guys. Well, that's enough from me about my life. So like I say, I hope I haven't bored you silly. So we'll look at how little man looks. Doesn't he look so sweet? Let me lift you up a little bit. Oh, there. Your hair is all stuck up. It's all stuck up. It's a type of hair it is. It's terrible. It just sticks up. Something rotten. That's why I put a hat on him sometimes and flatten it down, and then it looks all right. So it has to be sort of like kind of flattened down a little bit. And then so yeah, isn't he so cute? He's my little boy, my little Arlo Tobias, aren't you, Babby? Hey, Mummy's little boy. So yeah, his daddy bought him this suit yesterday. Well, it came yesterday. So yeah, so I did promise you I'm gonna have to lay you down in a minute. Hello, you lay there, darling. There's a good boy. You look it back in the camera. There's a good boy. You look at all your aunties and uncles. Here's a good lad. I did tell you about the little dresses I've been getting, haven't I, for little Peyton, my little princess. I got this one, which is in a yellow, and look at that. It's got netting across. It's like little flowers, stitched embossed flowers on the top, and on the bow, and then it's got white netting done with this beautiful embroidered bottom, oh god, in gold, and then these beautiful gold butterflies, and yellow. Look at them, and they're like in a very thin, like netting material. I mean, look at them, and they're beautiful. Look at them, they're beautiful, aren't they? So yeah, so there's that one. Then there's this white one, and it is like a lace over the top with like a white satin, thick white satin underneath, and it's all like in like lace floral, and it's got a tie at the back. So there's that one. Not sure if I'm going to put that on her. It might do for one of the new ones. There is some little panties to go with that. There we go. Some little pants, little bloomers things, little nappy covers. So there's them. This one I got today. It's in like a champagne colour, and it's got little sequins all over the netting and all over the front. I got that for the other baby that's coming. So there's that one. And this one is my favourite. You're going to love this one, guys. And I paid £1 for this off Vinted. Look at this. Oh my god. Look at the top. It's all like laced, ruched lace. Lace. Well, it is like a netting, sorry. And then these little diamantes on. And look at the top. It's in like a purple lace with purple satin underneath. And then it's got beads on the waistband, and then this hanging bit here on the waistband, and then this beautiful satin lilac underneath with this beautiful netting over the top. And look at the little flowers around it, all around it. It's absolutely beautiful. See if I can sort of like get it in a bit more for you. How adorable is that? And at the back it's got like a bow to tie, and then just a plain at the back. But come on, how adorable is that? And I can't wait to put her in that. I just, £1 of Vinted. Absolutely beautiful. Sorry, Arlo. So yeah, that's the little dresses I've been buying. Absolutely love them. So I will do the live with her when I put her that purple dress on. Probably maybe tomorrow or Monday. I'll see. Right, guys, I think I've kept you long enough. So I'm going to love you and leave you, because I think Dave wants to come upstairs now with us. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening. I'm going to put this little one back down to sleep, and we're going to say good night, aren't we? Hey, you're going to say good night. Hey, say night night. Night night. Right, guys, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for liking. And please share the video with your jolly friends and any friends that you may feel could relate to the things I've said, and who've gone through physical abuse. You know, no matter how many years ago we went through it, it's still so fresh in our minds and in our heads what we put up with. Being a human punch bag is not how it should be. So yeah, so just think of everybody that's gone through that and just send them some thoughts and some love. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for listening. Please share, please like, and please comment, and please subscribe. Okay, and thank you for watching, and I will speak to you all soon. So it's bye bye from me.